One. Two Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts in the Bellator cage. Our fight clock is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of Bellator. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Look for Cleber to do everything he can to get this fight to the ground. They are both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts, but Cleber Luciano much more experienced on the ground.
Cleber Luciano in the black trunks, Joe Camacho in the white trunks. Luciano driving hard, gets the takedown. Nearly fully swept from Camacho. Luciano, Jimmy, did a good job keeping his balance.
Yeah, that's what he does. Outstanding judo, great balance. You see there, passing guard. Very smooth jiu-jitsu.
Right into side control for Cleber Luciano.
Now, you can't really do jiu-jitsu in Southern California and not know Cleber. Constantly competing, very big school out here. Joe Camacho has to be very careful on the ground.
Short left hands, now bigger left hands from Luciano.
Don't expect Cleber, I don't think, to commit a lot to the ground and pound. He's going to use his punches to set up better positioning for his submissions.
Knee on belly, looking for full mount is Cleber Luciano.
Far side arm bars there as well. Camacho's back to half guard.
All offense early on, Jimmy, from Cleber Luciano. All defense early on from Joe Camacho.
Camacho's got to get space. Got to explode back to his feet. Very hard to sweep Cleber Luciano.
Let's work, come on.
Joe McCarthy telling both fighters to work. I'm sure Camacho wouldn't mind the stand-up about now.
Yeah, he might be holding on. You see there the body lock.
Fantastic camera angle. Don't tell the state of California just how close we got the camera to the cage.
Yeah, I won't. You do a good job of setting those things up.
Actually see the point of view camera just outside of the cage. That's a great shot.
But look at Cleber. He's always trying to pass, always pushing on that side. Very hard to keep him in half guard. Camacho still has the foot caught, but a lot of pressure from Cleber, and there's the pass.
Camacho trying to stay active on his back, but Luciano just matching him move for move, position for position.
Work.
You see here, Camacho trying to play the jiu-jitsu game, going underneath the leg. Going for a half guard sweep here, but that's going to be hard to get. It's better if he pushes off, gets a little space, tries to get back to his feet.
Again, knee on belly for Luciano. Trying to step over in the full mount from side control. Nearly has it. You see trying to pass, though, to his right, right against the base of the fence.
Problem is the cage is in his way. He's going to have to settle for half guard. He does.
Luciano now hooking the leg. Extremely tactical right now from Cleber Luciano.
Problem is you don't want a tactical jiu-jitsu game with Cleber Luciano. You want to make it dirty. You want to make it about scrambles. Make it about space. Don't want to have this kind of clinical jiu-jitsu game. It's hard to beat him in that kind of game.
Let's work, come on.
We see it all the time in striking. Guys with that real clean boxing game, you want to make it a brawl. It's the same thing on the ground. You want to get space and get back to your feet. You don't want a clinical jiu-jitsu match with a Rickson Gracie black belt.
50 seconds remaining, round number one. Now elbows from Cleber Luciano.
Yeah, not a lot on those punches or elbows, but he's keeping them coming and he's in good position on top.
Absolutely, Jimmy. It's the volume of the strikes. Camacho's just simply been stuck for the vast, and I mean the vast majority of round one here on his back and on his hip. You see Camacho trying to cage walk. I don't think the bell can come soon enough for Joe Camacho. This has certainly not been the first round that he envisioned or hoped for. Good right hand from Luciano. Now really trying to unload with strikes. That's the end of a big round one for Cleber Luciano.
Right there. Joe, you gotta work yourself out. He's busy, baby.
Look, stop fucking around. Reach it. Yeah, but don't worry about that. Look, stop going around the head. Play the underhook game and throw your elbow.
Antonio McKee leading the corner of Joe Camacho.
You know what I'm saying? Let your hands go on your feet. Stop playing this over the head. If you're going to do anything from the bottom, go underhooks. You throw elbows from the underhook.
Cleber Luciano on top in half guard. Like I said, no huge punches, no knockout style punches, but Joe Camacho not able to get Cleber off of him, and Cleber safe on top, good hip positioning. He's able to land these punches all day. Got some range at the end of the first round, but mostly short shots from good position. That was the story of round number one.
Jimmy, need I ask on your scorecard?
10-9, Cleber Luciano. I wouldn't call it 10-8 because didn't have a lot of sting on those punches, but a clear wipeout in the first round.
The ABC teaches for a 10-8 round 2 factors. Total domination, significant impact.
Yeah.
I think we saw the total domination, but not the significant
We certainly
impact.
did, yeah. There's got to be that this is about to be stopped moment for a 10-8 round to me. You got to do that kind of damage. Or be that close with submissions over and over again.
Look where we wind right back up. Just where round one started and finished, here we are for the early stages of round two. Joe Camacho playing defense on his back. Low, tight, close guard for Camacho.
You know, it's like you just said, he's playing defense off his back. It's just, it's going to be very hard to catch Cleber. It's really hard to sweep him. Off your back, you're basically pretty much mitigating damage. Just try not to take a lot of shots. He's got to get space and make this about his kickboxing if he wants to win.
Body head with the right hand from Cleber Luciano. See Camacho trying to hook the leg, trying to hook the ankle, just not finding it from the well-balanced Luciano. I think a lot of these tricks would work against someone who just didn't have the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu pedigree of Luciano.
You're not going to get De La Riva guard. You're not going to cut the kind of angles you can on other guys against Cleber Luciano. Very hard to do. And he's got that old school game. He's been in there a long time. I trained with some of his team in Brazil, Hicks and Gracie, and they talked about his technique. Very impressed by it.
Camacho, now you see the body lock from the bottom.
You see he hasn't gotten close to any submissions. It's not like, Camacho's been close to being tapped out, but hasn't been able to get the space to make it his kind of game.
Let's work, come on.
McCarthy telling the fighters to work. There was no stand-up in round one. Luciano did enough for the liking of John McCarthy to keep it on the ground. McCarthy, of course, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt himself. Camacho just simply not able to get off of his back. Posturing on his hip, trying to shrimp, but that's about it.
Good Kimura position here. Let's see if he goes for it. Nope. Cleber finding a smart, careful fight. He respects Joe Camacho's ability to get out of the submission. He's not going to try and force something and maybe lose position, trying to go for an armbar or a submission on Joe Camacho.
Camacho, an experienced pro MMA fighter, obviously very accomplished with his ground game.
Yeah, off of your arm and on your
Just
head,
right now
no
does
big
not
deal,
have
let's
an
go.
answer for the top game jiu-jitsu of Cleber Luciano.
Joe Camacho just need him in the head from the bottom. Heard Cleber complain about it. Joe's not able to get any space at all.
Grounded opponent, anything but the flats of the feet. Slick right there, almost in the full mount.